Welcome into my third game in the Team England Virtual Tour. It's going to be, I think, only the second one on the YouTubes because the Fumble games I'm not streaming. They're a mix of Fumble games and Blood Bowl 3 games for this tour. As discussed on the previous one, this is basically a series of warm-up games that the Team England squad is doing to get ready and test rosters ahead of EuroBowl and Europen this summer, and before that the home nations. I'm playing Wood Elves. I've been asked by the captain of Team England, Wolfin, to give the Wood Elves a go, see if we think they can work in these rules. The general consensus when the rules were released is they are not very friendly for Wood Elves. I agree with that general consensus, but having said that, so far in this series we've got 2 games and 2 wins. We also had our own internal set of Squad England games over Christmas, and those games were 2 wins and a draw. So despite all my skepticism, I have to say the roster has not gone terribly so far. But this is probably the matchup I have most been dreading, which is playing this roster into Dwarves. Tell you what, I'm going to do this. Because Dwarves in this rule set, if anything, are even worse for Wood Elves than they normally are. They're never like a favourite matchup for Wood Elves, but they are, because of the limits that the EuroBowl rules have put on having the same skill too many times, they are even more likely just to take more Mighty Blow and less Guard. Well, they can only take a maximum of 4 Guard in these rules, so they just put Mighty Blow on next because that's all Dwarves really want to have is Mighty Blow and Guard. And lots of Mighty Blow is a very big problem for Wood Elves, clearly, with the Armour 8+. So yes, let's have a quick look at Willow's roster. Willow is representing the Geordie League, that's who this round is against. She's got 4 Guard, 3 of them on Longbeards and 1 on a Blitzer. She's got Mighty Blow Lineman, Mighty Blow Lineman, a Mighty Blow Blitzer, no Mighty Blow Troll Slayer. I thought there'd be a Mighty Blow Troll Slayer, and 2 Unskilled Runners. Unskilled Runners may be good for us. No block here means they're a little bit easier to sack. But yes, 4 Guard and 3 Mighty Blow. Looks like at least 1 bench there as well. And just all the positionals maxed out. Both Troll Slayers, both Runners, both Blitzers. No Death Roller, I guess, but all the other positionals are maxed out for her there. Our roster is Tree, a couple of unskilled linemen, a couple of wrestle linemen. We've got 3 unskilled catchers, a frenzy war dancer, a stripple war dancer who probably won't be as effective in this matchup because, of course, Dwarves do start with sure hands, and we've got a leader thrower as well. Oh, they can't take any extra block. Good shout, Colleen. Yeah, of course, can't take block on the runners because they've already got way more than their limit on the block skill on the other players. So the way the limit works is you're allowed to have a maximum of 4 of any one skill. That's the cap. Obviously, like if you have, like Dwarves do, all these players start with block, it would be impossible to build a roster without including the block that you start with. So the only way to go over the number limit, so 4 is a limit, the only way you go over that is if you have if you include players who start with that skill. So in the same way, most teams can't get more than 4 dodge. We actually have 5 dodge on our Wood Elves because we've got 2 war dancers and 3 catchers who start with dodge. But that meant we couldn't put dodge on any other player because we've already gone over the limit for what we're allowed. So that's how that is working for EuroBowl. I don't even know what Ferret said, but apparently it's a no. Morning, Rick Regulars. Yeah, I think I would have wanted to put, I mean, I don't play Dwarves at all, famously, like barely like have ever touched them, literally like ever. But from playing against it with Wood Elves, I think I would have thought maybe Mighty Blow on the Troll Slayers could be more of a problem. Not more of a problem because Mighty Blow is a problem whatever we do, but like I think that's where I would have thought it would end up on one of them, and it didn't. Well, That certainly is good news. It is only 4, so less good than it could be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it is 2 rushes to get into that ball, which is also less good than it could be, but it's still pretty good, whichever way you spin it. No, I think we've got to do this first and try and get 2 through that gap. I'd love to take the wrestle down, but then I would be blocking my own way through, so we don't do that. And then we've got to roll 2 2s, which we don't have a reroll for because it's a blitz action. But I think you have to try it. Like, you just have to try and get one underneath it. So fingers crossed. Okay, well, that is a very promising start. We do catch it with the catch skill. Although the ball in Bud Bowl 3 is still hovering up here. Okay. Just a start on the first hit. KO on the second hit. This is really confusing that the ball is just hanging up here in the air. They actually don't even have a hit on this with tackle without a rush. I mean, yeah, they'll do the rush, but yeah. So they have to roll. Oh, knockdown, not a knockdown right away. So yeah, have to put the reroll in. So yeah, it was always likely to go down, but making them spend a reroll on it is good. Maybe I should have tagged that with hindsight. Maybe that was a mistake. Because if they hadn't had that one, they had no one with tackle to hit the ball with. So maybe that should have been a tag on that one. So ball is down. It was always likely, and they have picked it up. And they're probably still going to be able to get this into a cage. So it's actually like not even that impactful, a blitz after all that. Like, I think I should have tagged that. I think that was a mistake. Like, all this is going to end up having cost them as a reroll, which is not the end of the world. 3 for Dwarves means they've still got 2 for the rest of the drive. Like, it's definitely not hard to build a complete cage here. One reroll is nothing against most teams. Against Dwarfs, I feel like it kind of is nothing because every other thing they've got to do this drive, they're going to have rerolls for. They're going to have block skill for. So fails the Dauntless. This is an uphill, which this is like literally always what happens when Trollsayers hit my trees. Like, I cannot remember a time this didn't happen with a Trollsayer hitting my tree. They always fail the Dauntless, and it never matters. It's very frustrating because it is a 4+ Dauntless. But then they just roll uphill powers. This is good cage structure from Willow. Like, she's got a guard at the back. She's got a guard in front. She's got the eye cage. Very hard to do anything about that with Wood Elves in an immediate sense. I think our play from here is probably to try and do what we can to slow them down a little bit. Make sure they don't get up the pitch too quickly. It's probably our next port of call. Tree failing to stand up hurts us a lot. So not off to a great start, to be honest with you, despite the blitz. And that also hurts us. I really wanted that to be a knockdown so we could tag the ball, make them blitz backwards. So yeah, I would say all of the advantage from that blitz is now gone. And we're just going to be playing a very tough defense because they've got position here to come forward. We weren't able to slow them down. There was no chance to split their team. Didn't get the knockdown here. Yeah, not great. Not great, to be honest. A little bit frustrating given how promising that could have been. I think I should have just tagged that. I think if I'd tagged that, the whole thing would look different. Okay, well, you have the dice you have, and I think the only play here is to back off. don't think I even dodged that. They're not going to foul it. I'm risking a 1 in 6 to roll armor on a player I don't want to roll armor on. But this is now, it's gone from being a promising start to like, this is kind of the worst start against Dwarves. Like I'm hoping one of two, without the blitz, I'm hoping for one of two things. I'm hoping for a deep kick that can stop them from getting into a cage right away, and I'm hoping that they're going to give me a chance to split their team. Willow hasn't done that. She's got straight into a position which didn't let me split. So then my next thing is, can I force her to go backwards? And if we just knock that over, then I'm going to tag the ball carrier and just going to blitz backwards, and it's going to stop her from getting our whole team forward. But we didn't get the knockdown there, so I didn't want to tag this for no reason. It's just going to give them 2 dice into 2 dice. There's no purpose to it. It's just giving up armor rolls. So we didn't even get that benefit of pushing them back, really. So, and then the tree didn't get up, so we also don't have any real resistance to them moving forward. But those are all the things I'm thinking about and trying to have as my opportunities. We just didn't manage to land any of them. No knockdown there is nice. I think like one of the challenges for Dwarves in this rule set, like even against Wood Elves, is like, yeah, with 4 guard, there's more risk of your guard getting out of position. So again, I thought Willow's positioning was really nice that turn in terms of just making it the guard covering all angles. She's obviously knows what she's doing. So like rather than push straight forward, she's moved to get away from the tree, which I also think is smart. While it's down. It's so annoying that uphill worked. It's just because it always works. Like I literally cannot remember a time. I feel like I can't remember a time that a troll player made its dauntless against tree. Like they always seem to fail that 4+. It's just that they always fail the 4+ and then knock you down anyway, which is just a really irritating combination. Tree is not going to play this drive, which is also irritating. We could stack up and punch back here. What would that look like? I'm not sure it's a good idea, really. Can't get it again. Like this is all good positioning, right? Because like she's seen what I tried to do last time, and she's not given me that chance to knock out one corner and tag the ball carrier and make her blitz backwards. So like I do think she's playing a tight game. Can't come here because of the frenzy. That would only get us a 1 dice. I think this is going to be a very, very hard drive to win. Already thinking about like what's going to be more important here, like winning this drive or just saving the rerolls for a 1-turn try at this point. I think I'm just going to blitz back here. Which is not great. Like the 1-turn is like obviously lovely to have. It's part of what makes Wood Elves good, but it's not a thing you want to be relying on because it's just inherently very unreliable. Okay, KOing Dwarves, never a bad thing. Especially was that guard dwarf as well, yeah. Probably you. Menu. Let's do a look at that. Okay. Yeah, hard disagree on the tree. hard disagree on the tree in this rule set. Max speed is a nice idea, but having players on the pitch is an even nicer idea, in my opinion. I think your choices in this rule set, which is not 1160, Thunia's talking about 1160, where you can have the Apo as well. But this is effectively 1110, and I think your choices are either take the Apo or take the tree. And my experience is that the tree will do more to reduce attrition than an Apo you can only use once. 1160, you're going to be getting a different roster with the 11. Are you doing 12 players even? No, you're going max. I don't know what you're doing at 1160 if you're not taking the tree. You're getting a lot. I think it comes down to like what you interpret as performing. That's again like what I mean. Like I've managed so far, and I keep thinking this game or the one I'm hosting on Fumble this week against Spoonie are going to be the ones where like it all comes crashing down. But so far in this training series, I've managed not to get banged out really, and like the tree is a huge part of that. Even yes, it spends some turns on the floor being frustrating. Yeah, it's doing useful things when it's on the pitch. Besides that, that's definitely not the only thing it's doing. Obviously, like sometimes it ends up on the floor, and that's not great. But that's in the same way as in sometimes your ward answer fails the first dodge and gets removed. Like, that's much more likely to be fair. But yeah, like it's not. This is not like the permanent state of every single game. You just probably hear me moan about it more when it is the state. So I think this is who we're blitzing. The question is just, are we blitzing it backwards, in which case we risk leaving one of our players tagged on it, or are we blitzing it forward, which would get us a second hit but would leave you there. I think we're not getting the tree up yet because I think I am going to try the rush because there's such value in getting that on there. I should have set that one up. Didn't remove it. Diced. Actually, that should have gone here. I guess it still does, because that can go there. Would have moved that one further over if I'd not been an idiot. Okay. Pop you back a square. I need you to dodge. Just push you. So, 1, 2. Good. Okay, tree does get up. Can it do the rush? No! So close. Even sunned itself. So again, like that didn't work, right? But if that tree is there, it's doing a great job. Like that's what I mean. Like, yes, all right, it failed it because it rolled a 1 in 6. But if that tree is in those squares, that's definitely like providing a huge value to my defense. So that's a partial answer, I guess, to Ferret's question. Like, when's it being useful? There. If it's standing on those 2 dwarfs, it's being very useful. Because then you've got either they've got to uphill it, which yes worked last time but won't always work, or they've got to commit 1, 2, like 3 other pieces to hit it on a 2 dice, or they're just doing 4+ dodges. So I think there's an argument I should have not rushed it and just had it stood up, and then next turn I could have moved it without risking the roll. But like, yeah, 5 out of 6 times after doing the stand up that's there, I think I'd probably take that roll. It's so immediately valuable. Okay, I think that's the Apo. Except we don't have an Apo. That was an immediate thought. That's exactly why we would like to have an Apo, because, yeah, that's an easy Apo if you have one. This is just so hard to stop. Like, this is like why this matchup feels so bad with this roster. Like, they're going to get hits with your Mighty Blow once the ball is in the cage and being well positioned, which it has been. Again, I'll keep saying, like, I think Willow's playing a tight game. It's just so hard to stop. Like, you need to get the pressure on at the beginning, which we did get. And I think maybe with hindsight, again, if I should have tagged the one tackle piece that had the hit on there. I think I wasn't, like, it was because, like, I had to do that before doing the rushes at the ball. The choice is, like, leave a player based when it might not matter because we might not get our catcher under the ball, like, on the chance that we make our 2-2 pluses and get there. But maybe, like, again, it's only 2-2 pluses. Maybe that's a good enough bet. But it is a gamble. So maybe I'm just, like, kicking myself with hindsight. This is looking like this could be a base cage of some sort. No, okay, no, yeah. Again, good positioning. Is there anything we could do here? I'm just wondering if there's a chain push. Like, if we one dice that into there. Frenzy 1, 2, it doesn't push it anywhere useful, does it? If you filled that square, wouldn't change anything. Frenzy, it's just not doing anything. Like, we can leap in for the uphill. Like, that's always an option, but it's just not a good option. On the whole, I think we should be trying to take the good options. There aren't many of them. Yeah, if that was there, that would have been so good. Oh well. I feel like we've just been, like, a tiny bit off getting some really good outcomes on the dice. A couple of times. These hits are both 2 pluses, so I think I'm taking them. It's the same as doing the dodge. With the possible upside that you roll some big numbers. That is very lucky. Yeah. Okay, live with that. Dwarf on the floor is better for us than for them. So Mighty Bow out as well. I'm a little thin on this side now. Maybe that was an argument for dodging the last one. They have a bench, so it's not like it's huge. But it is Mighty Bow gone. Leaving them with just 2 more. Okay, that's nice. The wrestle is quite nice against dwarfs. So this makes a gap for them, but not the easiest gap to go through with movement for. There'd be rushes if they want to bring that through and make it safe, I think. They don't have a Apo either, do they? So yeah, there's no Apos for them. Maybe there aren't rushes here. Maybe this is fine. Yeah, there's 1 rush. You've got to rush someone to cover that square. Oh, and to cover that one apparently.
I'm looking forward to these next.
No, you don't. You can use that one. So there isn't a rush. Oh man, that would have been so good, that tree. We're just a 2+ away from having that tree making their life a lot more difficult. Now this looks like there could be an interesting chain push on. If I fill here, blitz from the top, pushes into there, the second hit will be uphill, but it would push us onto the wrestle. I feel like it might be the time in the drive where we have to try something. The second hit is a 1 dice, not an uphill. I think that works, right? So we hit here. We need to get a push you to here. And the second hit is just like pushes or powers. It's going to leave the war dancer right in the middle of this horrible cage. But it's going to push that to there. So we'd be hitting from this square into a player who's here. Yeah, this works. In theory. Doesn't work without a push. Ugh. Okay, well, that doesn't feel good. Oh my god. Oh, it's not good though. It's not what we wanted. We want to hit the ball. Like, it's obviously good, but it's like not great because they're just going to score. That was a nice play I had planned. I liked that play. I wanted to be able to do that play. Yes, I'm complaining about injuring a dwarf. Rush gets that in a really nice square now. Don't really want to do it, but okay. That was such a nice... I think I forgot to get that up. I think that was not stunned, was it? That was the time before. Oh well. Like, I know I shouldn't complain. It's a good removal. It's a blitzer. But I had a good play. I had a really nice play to hit the ball there. I don't care about killing things. I care about winning the game, and sacking the ball there wins me the game, maybe. Removing that dwarf probably doesn't even stop them from scoring and going 1-0 up at half time. They can't score if they don't have players left. I think that's maybe going to be a bridge far. Boo. I don't think I'll get another chance at it. That's the problem. I think that was my shot on the ball. Maybe not. Maybe there is a shot here. To bring you all the way around. Hit here. Second hit would push you out. Again, it works in theory, needs a push first. There it is. Love that. Up or straight? Up, I think. Okay. Maybe you. Got the least movement. Standing you up? I think so. Oh, come on. Now we're burning all of our rerolls for the 1 turn as well. I think we've got to base everything now. I hate it, but I think we've got to. Not if I burn all my rerolls, Julian. Not if I burn all my rerolls trying to sack the ball. I think you have to reroll that, right? Like it's 2 dice on the ball. Like I don't think there's another choice, is there? Yeah, I think a standard X cage. The thing is, like, you can avoid what happened there, Rick, just by like not having the cage to like basically like a square away from you that doing that push. But like, yeah, the frenzy for that sort of chain is one of the reasons I really like having the frenzy war dancer. I think it just creates those interesting situations if your opponent cages in certain ways. A good coach always uses right player, right job. So there's going to be a dodge at least, but I think they're going to be back in a safe cage again here, aren't they? After everything. Yeah, I think that's fair, Thelian. I think the previous frenzy one was maybe greedy. I think this one I had to do, like it's a hit on the ball. And like it's not just a hit on the ball, right? Like we had players that could recover after that hit. Like if it's, it could even have been like a 2+ recovery depending which way it's scattered. So yeah, I think we had to go for that. The reroll this time. I haven't actually blitzed yet. Yeah, that's true, Valrag. I think the turn I forgot to try and stand up. I mean, I might have failed the stand up anyway, but I did cost myself with that for sure. So we've got the 1 dice war dancer play on the ball, which is probably what we've got to try. The question is, do we just accept the 5+ dodge, which like lower odds succeed, but at least it doesn't commit the reroll on the dodge, means we keep the reroll for the 1 turn, or do we come around and do the 3+ leap in, which obviously like better chance of getting there if we put the reroll into it. This has really nice scatter directions. 55% means we've got a reroll for the 1 turn unless we end up rolling a push and spending it there. Is there anything else we can do? Get a 1 dice and that doesn't help us. Could do a 4+ dodging on you. Keeps that free to recover. If we put 2 assists in here, we hit this first. At least means we've got some players in front. Or if this goes wrong. Gives them something to worry about. It's not much, but it's something. I'm going for this because it doesn't use a team reroll. Gets there. Oh, is this a reroll? It's a 50-50. Got it. It is not a great square for us, but it's not a great square for them either. That can't get into scoring range. It can go stand over the ball. Tree says no. Tree's like, nope, I've tried that getting up and moving thing. It's not for me. I don't know if I should have rerolled that on the ball. It's a coin flip. It's a coin flip to knock the ball down. But like the one turn is like, it's not some automatic thing, right? Like the one turn is hard. So like you've got to roll dice for it. I just don't know. Did it not? Oh, that's probably like a... I just assumed it had, to be honest with you, and I didn't check. They're still going to score here, aren't they? They're just going to pick up here and hand off and score after all that. So 1 dice blitz. Pick up with sure hands, hand off there. A couple of rushes. That's not even 1 dice blitz, 2 dice blitz. Maybe they'll fail a 3. They haven't yet, but they could. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 1 rush. So 3 plus pickup, 3 plus handoff, 2 plus rush. And they've got rerolls for everything. And maybe I should have like not tried. This is what's so frustrating, right? Like if I don't try any of that, I could do a 3 reroll 1 turn. But like any of those sacks could have won it for us. We just didn't get the break. Got our KO back at least. Oh, I'm so frustrated with that half. I feel like we did the right things. Like, I feel like I did the right things. I gave myself multiple chances at getting that ball away. Like, we had three turns in a row we could sack the ball. And we had the first time we couldn't get the push. The second time we couldn't get the knockdown on the ball carrier. The third time we got it down, but we just didn't have the recovery. I don't know, like... It really felt like we did the right things. Yeah, exactly, Valerauka. Like we fully like flipped it all, right? Like the times when we needed to roll a power, we rolled a push. Times we needed to roll a push, rolled a power. All till the last one. And maybe I still shouldn't have re-rolled that because as we saw, even after I did it, with the bad scatter, it wasn't good enough to stop them from scoring. It's a good setup for them, I think. God, it's frustrating for us. We're just going to whole method with that. That seems bad. But anything else is asking for a 1 dice to start off. Frenzy push, frenzy push. Start hitting, I guess. If we do the frenzy, it's going to be 1 dice in the second hit anyway. Unless we cancel that. I guess we can. Quick snap. Interesting. Can we make this easier for ourselves now? Step you in there. Let me just do 1 blitz down. Second hit would come here. I think we can, right? Like, so if we now have you here, we're blitzing down onto there. Second hit would push you into that square, push you into that square, push you up. And we've still got you for the last one. Don't want to move you. Don't want to fill that square. It's not a good kick for us. And that's not going to get it for us. Is there any way of still doing it from here? I don't think so. I think it's not possible now. Boo. Thanks, Gav. I'm definitely second guessing myself a bit. I'm also now asking myself if we try for a win rather than a draw, like with guaranteed. So they're on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're guaranteed not more than 10. If we can score without losing any players, 10 plays 10. Short drive. Yeah, I agree, Jimmy. I'd love to have a sidestepper. I thought about trying that, dropping one of the wrestlers for a sidestepper, but the wrestle's pretty nice. Have you been here from the beginning, Jimmy? I'm curious if you think I overcommitted to trying to stop that last drive. I really felt like that last drive I had some really good chances. I felt like I did things how I wanted to that drive. Sometimes the dice just don't give you what you want, right? Like you can't always get, even when you play it right. But I'm sure there's things I could have done better. Like we did have 3 turns in a row with opportunities to hit the ball. Like I would not have bet on that at the start of the drive. So Daisy Cutter, thank you for the raid. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, like 100%, Gav. Like I'm second guessing myself more in these games because, like, in the end, like we have a 12-player squad, and there's 8 spots in the EuroBowl roster. So like, I want to like play well enough that I'm considered good enough for one of those. So like, of course, that like is on my mind. Like, could I do things better and play as well as I can? Of course, that's like part of my thinking. Yeah, I was saying this though, Dimmy, saying this though, Jimmy, like it's lovely getting Kaz. It means if I play for a draw this half, it's probably pretty easy, right? And I don't know if I should just play for a draw. But like, those weren't the dice I needed to win the drive. Yeah, we high rolled a couple of Kaz, and that's nice, but we had dice to win the drive, and we didn't get the dice to win the drive. Like they're not the same. They're not the same dice, are they? Right? Like some things are more useful than others for actually winning the drive. I think we're probably going to try and play for the win here, which is a little rowdy against Dwarves, but I think as not because Jimmy's saying it, but I think as Jimmy is saying that, I think it's good practice. I also think that was very lazy setting up and forgetting about Troll Slayers that could just surface. I don't know why I said that and then still didn't just immediately move it, as I should have done. Where's the mighty bow? The mighty bow is here. Do not cut the corner. Have an immediate scoring threat.
Just too fast. Break some legs, please. It's
Bring that up to there. 3 dice. Get a push. Just staying where it is, or is that going to go as well? Maybe that pushes as well. Let's just push them back. Make them think about those. Okay. Bring this just up to here. I think it's fine. I see you, Gav. Hey, Malbec, welcome.
Also on tonight's show, big Jobo Hairyfoot comes back from the dead to talk about his remarkably short tenure as captain of the Greenfield Grasshunters.
It's definitely not the way I expected this game to go. Like I for sure thought the second half would be down more than one player and desperately scrambling a bit. Maybe we're about to go down more than one player. Was quite funny in the first half when I got the Kaz against me and just immediately said, right, we'll use the Apo on that, and then remembered I don't have one. It's a great question, Valarauka. It's not an exact science. I think that you definitely want to give yourself a minimum of 3 if you're playing defense to turnover and score. I think 2 is possible, but it's really cutting things fine. But 4 sounds like easier because it gives you more time to get the turnover, but it also gives them more time to run a calmer offense. So yeah, maybe it's 3, maybe it's 4, I think is my answer, but I'm not 100% sure which. I think we're going to want to take the space this side. I think we start with the blitz here. Lovely. Follow up to give you a 3 dice. Ball is safe here, so I'm okay taking this. Actually, is ball safe here? Ball was not safe there if that was a turnover. So that was me just misreading that 3 space gap as a 2 space gap. Bit sloppy. Now the ball is covered here. Fine, just shove you onto the tree. Do not love that to move forward here. I've got to expose this leader. I'm not sure if there's a way around that if I want to move forward. It's either exposed leader or war dancer. Maybe both. I suppose it's at least stretch them on getting the assist. This will be in range with 2 rushes, which obviously we're not keen to take, but give yourself the option. Do not cut the corner. Just use the leader reroll. That is the strategy. So again, like Ferret was talking about the tree never being useful, which I was saying I disagree with. Like, tree right here is holding 2 dwarfs down. As far as I'm concerned, that's pretty useful. Leader survives. That is a relief. Yeah, it was nearly great last half and kept tumbling at the key moments. I think all big guys are a bit swingy. I actually think trees are less swingy than some other big guys, but the stand-up rolls definitely can really like affect how good they are. Like if you can't make those stand-up rolls, some drives they're really frustrating. Yeah, I think it was twice, but yeah, the stun on one of them was like a superior like insult to injury, wasn't it? Okay, survives the uphill this time, which is good. It's a skull this time, which is even better. Does that give us a way back to the middle here? I feel like it does. Good. Would have loved to just do that hit with the tree, but didn't want to risk it with the ball where it is. So ball can come to there. Well, I might do one rush on the ball, which I'm going to live to regret. But if I want to score next turn, which I don't hate, then we're either rushing this turn or next turn. So that's the square we're aiming for. So let's pop in behind that and in front of that. Move the tree first, or is the tree in a good enough square? I think the tree's in a good enough square, but I think this is even better. So let's try for this, and if we root, that's fine. I knew it. Well, at least the leader reroll's been used. Won't get that up. This, I think, has to try the 3 blows. Fine. Because if we didn't do the rush that turn, we were going to have to stay back here. And if we stayed back here, it would be 2 rushes to score next turn. So I think like that rush, even though it was kind of horrible, we'd covered it if it was a snake. And it just means we shouldn't have to rush next turn to score, which would give them 5 turns to score a winner, but gives us 4 turns to turn them over and try and win ourselves, which I think is the right number. Like if we just wanted to draw out of this game, I think with them being down players, I think the draw is just like a thing we could just have, but we're choosing to play for the win. I don't think they need anything, Jimmy, because like the round is going to be a teaming them win regardless. So like it's kind of just like what's good practice. I think Gav made that point, and I think it's the right point. Like, if I'm playing for a draw, I don't think I'm going to learn anything from it. Whereas, yeah, like. Yeah, exactly. Like this is like captain's asked for the win, so you're trying for the win. Are you sure, Gav? I thought I couldn't. I'd have to look at it again to know if you're right on that, but maybe I can look back at the end of the game. I don't think I'm even going to take a block here. Oh, I guess there's an armor 9 piece there. I probably should. I'm just thinking I really don't want to spend a reroll here. It's probably worth hitting the armor 9 first. Okay. How's our good? Doesn't get a removal. Skull. Yeah, I thought there was a player that forced us to rush. So big KO roll for that dwarf that's been staying out. Oh, napping again is great. Okay, so that KO staying out both times is really nice. It means we're still up players to start the drive. Do we still offset here? I think I'm going to do this offset this time. Just cheats the tree back into a more useful square if it roots right away. The leader is no longer as valuable, like we've actually used it, so it's just valuable because it can throw a pass if we get a sack, but... Oh my god, Hargrim. Hargrim's trying to get me to come to Thrud, and I want to. I still need to look at all the numbers on that Hargrim, but I promise I will. Having quite a busy old stretch of, well, I think I'm through the worst of it, but the last week has been super busy. Okay. Changing weather doesn't change. It's a pretty good kick for them. Nice and central for them. But thank you, Hargrim. I want to go. I want to go and grudge Andy. Doesn't follow. We're blitzing the tree here, because if not, we're just leaving 2 dwarfs on the tree. Okay, so it's 9 on 9. But yeah, if we don't blitz the tree here, then we're just leaving 2 on the tree, which seems like a good trade for me. I think this must be blitz on the tree, because where else are they even going to blitz with a frenzy? It's kind of awkward to blitz these other ones. They might have been thinking about blitzing the catcher with this one, but now that's on there. Tree blitz a gamble though, right? It's a 4+. I know I was saying last half, it always seems to me that they fail the 4+, but then roll the knockdown anyway. But the odds still say it's a gamble.
It's called Rotting Cadaver by Tommy Hilfiger. For the ball, but can they pick it up?
Maybe they're just not blitzing. Or what nice blitzing here, maybe. In which case, yeah. Tree. Ferret, are you still here? Tree's pretty useful. Tree's holding down 2 dwarfs. Or they could rush blitz it, I guess. Yeah, I think they're just going to 1 nice blitz here. Oh, hello. Oh, less hello. Wow. I mean, it's still good, right? Like, it's still better for us than it being on the runner. So we're going to use a wrestle blitz here. We're not going to touch this. This is doing its job. I think that's the thought process. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. I've done it now.
They've got the advantage.
Yeah, because that leaves it there to be hit. But that's kind of okay, though, because, like, on the one hand, it's getting hit, which I don't want, but it is keeping that troll slayer there, which I do want. This has just got to be here. It's not the dream position, but it's just where it's got to be. Good. Maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe that should have been a wrestle piece rather than the catcher and had the catcher here. But then I don't know. I don't know if it changes that much, honestly. They just do the same thing in reverse. Because I think what you do here is block that. If you get lucky, you get push power, and then that's an assist for blocking this, blitzing this one. Yeah, I think that's like what you actually want here is the push and then a full power. Because that lets you be the assist on this blitz. Didn't get the power though, so that's good. They might just hold for the draw here then. Like doing that right away means you've got few players to move. This looks very much like Dwarves playing for the draw. Oh, cheeky rush. Oh, Dwarves dodging. That's not allowed. Five pluses for you. Go for the uphill. So we've got 4+ in for a 1 dice. I think that's not the play this turn. That might be a play on a later turn, but I don't think it's this turn. Lovely pow. I didn't follow up, but I think I am following up. Don't know why I didn't just follow up. Pop you there, then that's 2 into 2. Bring an assist and make that a 2 dice as well, I guess. Does mean you have to just hold this square, I think. Or are you basing the ball? That hasn't got a tackle. No, I think we're there for now. What are they going to do? They're going to blitz that. And they're going to be short a player for the cage. Unless they make a dwarf dodge. Which they probably will, but can't always assume the worst. Yeah, exactly that, Rick. If they haven't got a scoring threat in 2 turns' time, then we can just chuck whatever we want at it on turn 16. So That's a really nice thing about them not moving. Sadly, Bryden, dwarf dodges do happen, and they're always very upsetting and unfair. They ought to be illegal. So this is like the question that was asked about what turn we should score if we're playing for the win. And like, this is exactly the dilemma, right? Like if we score later, then we've got less wiggle room for how we try to force a turnover. But equally, like by scoring early, we gave them more turns to try and win. The way the drive started was quite favourable for us. So I think, oh, double skulls. It's definitely looking like a tough push now for them to win this, but it's not impossible. It's definitely not impossible.
Nothing good comes from spending any time on the ground in this game.
There's only one word to say.
I think after this turn we might be, Jimmy. I don't know if I was quite there yet, but I think after this turn, I think they're probably not going to have a win condition anymore. So give us 2 turns. Rushing. Is that because they're going to bring this back to make the cage? Yeah, that makes sense. That was the only way they could do it without doing a rush, so. Without doing a dodge, sorry. A dwarf dodge. Yeah, you have to do that. You have to do that rush, because otherwise I'm leaping in on a 3+ instead of a 4+, which obviously I'm going to be very happy to do. Oh, this is nice. Gets you to block off the tree, maybe. Yeah, and gets the power. Very nice. Nicely done. Oh, even gets that on there. That has gone, so it doesn't get a free hit, but it's saying. Okay. That's a shame. That definitely reduces our playmakers here. Do we go for the same thing again? Knock down a corner, tag it. Maybe like fully swarm it even? Or do we take our first 4+ try on the ball? Because like, you can just try the 4+ leap, right? 75% it gets there. 1 dice on the ball. If it gets out, we've got players that can recover. They aren't scoring, so I think we can start trying to find a winning play, I guess. Good. So now if we do get it down, we've got players covering all the scatters. And if we don't, they've at least got to deal with some blocks. Gets there, that's good. Skull's no good. Power is good. All right. We're out of rerolls, but the ball's on the floor. Ball is not in the square we want it to be in. Popping dodge also makes me more reluctant to go for the ball here. Oh, not the outcomes we were hoping for, but also like definitely like things for them to deal with. Maybe just like double. Oh, it's rushes. Just go this way, I guess. With no rerolls, I think that makes more sense. Now with you, I might push my luck and try and get into there because you haven't popped dodge yet. Just one more tackle zone on the ball.
Bit of a lull. What are you up to?
Thinking about what to have for lunch. Roast elf heart.
Maybe I should have even gone for the last one there and tried to pick it up. Maybe.
Banner has an assist. That'll help the player move without pressure.
Dead, dead, dead. Don't know that does very much.
Right next to a teammate.
Unity is strength.
Seeing all these powers, I'm wishing I'd gone for the ball.
The floor again. This team must like worms or something.
That does go 2 into 2 if they want to. Because of the guard. They've gone for the tackle and they haven't got it down. Hey, Lady Lefay. Tough decision because they want to follow up to be the assist here, but if they follow up, then they aren't the assist here anymore. Don't know which of those matters more. Does put a tackle zone on the ball at the very least. I think I would have followed because I'm not sure this is going to be hitting that anyway. So
How do I look in HD?
A lighter shade of pale.
does get the power. Are they scattering or not scattering? Yeah, not scattering is right, I think, because if you scatter, there's a chance it just lands on a catcher. I think this is going to be a draw. We're out of rerolls and we're now losing some of our options to respond to wherever this ends up. Like no dodge on the pitch anywhere, or no blodge. I think they've done enough here. I think maybe I had to go for that 4+ onto the ball.
He seems a little stuck.
It's still uphill. Haven't blitzed yet.
Did you know a Spike Magazine trophy was forged in hellfire deep beneath the blighted cigarette Tsar Nagrund?
They could go for a 4+ dodge, 4+ pickup on the ball.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Blitz that and go for the 4+ pickup after. Was going to be the next thing. I think was more sensible. Or you just don't go for the pickup. Personally, I would have gone for pickup. Doesn't mean I'm right. They've done a very good job of just cazzing or stunning everything, so we have very little responsiveness left in our team this half. That last stun is actually really huge, by the way. I'll show you why in a second. That's a huge stun. Because my play 100% here, if that's not a stun, is dodge one of these catches, go here, 2 dice onto there and hope for the good scatter. With that being a stun, I now have to decide either bring this to do it, but then who's going to score? Bring this to do it, it's like 2 2s, or just do the 1 dice. And I think the answer basically has to be the 1 dice. Because there's no point bringing this in for an assist because then we haven't got a scoring threat. So I think that stun has turned this from a 2 dice into a 1 dice. Does get the POW. We've gone for, we don't want to follow because if this scatters onto us, then we catch it and we can't win. That's a terrible square. That's probably secured the draw for them. That's, yeah, more or less the worst square it could have gone to, barring like a catch on one of these players. Like it could have at least scattered off them. 12% chance that way, or that won't even do it. So it'd have to be same odds. Bring you there, get a 1 dice on it, but they've got no scoring threat. Like the Blood Bowl 3 math says they're all 12%. I don't know if the Blood Bowl 3 maths is correct or not. That still doesn't do it. It has to literally be 3-3. At least we've got dodge skill for those. Like it feels like that should be better because it's got them. What's this? 5, 2, 2, 2, 2, 4. Or 4's got the reroll. Or 3, 3, 2, 5, 2. I think that's better. I don't know. No. Pass by odds, yeah, maybe it was worth thinking pass by, but they're all 4 pluses, right? So you're adding that onto 4s. Well, I'm a little bummed out. I wanted to keep my record of winning every game in this up. I feel like I was unlucky not to win this one, I'll be honest. Like we had 3 goes at the ball in the first half on our defensive drive. We had the ball down here at the end of this drive. It's just one of those games where you can't quite make the critical action work. But I think Weather played well. I think that like the things that gave us chance in the first half, like she definitely could have avoided because those chain push plays you could have set up to avoid them, but they aren't obvious, right? Like they're definitely like things that I think maybe like I think a lot of players would miss those. Maybe that's naive or arrogant on my part, I don't know, but I don't think those are obvious things, those plays. There was a jump over, but it would have been a 4+ anyway. I think it wasn't going to make it any better on the odds. I don't know, like it's just hard to say, isn't it? Like we were talking about it during the first half. Let's bring it up quickly on the replay, like whether I should put the rerolls in. I think Thulian was right that I shouldn't have rerolled the first one. And then maybe I have a reroll for the 1 turn. But I mean, like, the reroll for the 1 turn doesn't make it automatic. Like, people treat the 1 turn sometimes when they're playing against it like it's a thing that you just like do and it's like free, but actually like it's a bunch of dice even if your opponent sets up badly, which well they didn't, they set up well. So so this is the first one. And I think this is like definitely worth trying because we've got the wrestle right here. So like if this is a push, then we get, it's a 2 dice as well, right? If we want it to be, like we can stand that up. So the idea here, if anyone didn't pick it up at the time, is we're pushing into this one, push here. The second hit will be a 1 dice because we're going to be, let's use it from this side. No, it's not because the dice move around. The dice are in the way of seeing it clearly. So we're pushing into here, pushing you back, pushing into here. Second one's a 1 dice because we won't have an assist on it. But then if it's anything that isn't a skull or a both down, we push you to here. And then we stand that up. And then we can either bring that in to be the assist, or I might have been more aggressive and rush this to get the assist because that means that's free for recovery. But it's 2 dice with wrestle on the ball. So that's why I spent the reroll here. I think Thulian is right, and this shouldn't be a reroll. I think because not only am I have I got things to reserve the reroll for, I'm also like, this isn't even the bit that gets me to hit. Like maybe the next block I could think about the reroll, but I think the reroll here is a little bit greedy. Because I could easily have re-rolled into a push and then the next one rolled like a both down or a skull, and then I'm gonna have to spend a second re-roll and I still haven't hit the ball yet. So I think Thulian was right that was too soon to throw that re-roll. I think at the no, it wasn't guard. That would have been the only assist on it, and it was cancelled because I had a player on that. I pushed it off in the end. Thanks for the raid, Babona. So yeah, it was a bit greedy. Weirdly, like the way it worked out, I guess it kind of worked out because like we probably would have got different dice here and it became a casualty, which is obviously was helpful. Then the next one, she just kind of gave us that chance again at it. This one was a bit more work. We had to rush around for it. But again, we've got the player here for it. And this one, we do get the push. And I think this one's a no-brainer on the reroll. I really do. Like, I think this one's a no-brainer on the reroll because we've got the push here. So this is exactly the same play we were trying to do last time. It's like identical. We got this hit. And I think this is a no-brainer on the reroll just because, like, if this goes down, it's not just the ball going down. We've got half our team free here that can get the ball and run off with it. So I think this has to be right to spend the reroll. There was a mistake. I can't remember if it was this time or the last time. I didn't try to get the tree up. And if I tried to get the tree up, the tree wouldn't have ended up trying to rush and then failing the rush. So there was a mistake on that for sure. I think I just forgot that it wasn't stunned from the turn before. Yeah, I have no problem with this reroll. I think that has to be a reroll. I think we're pretty unlucky. Like that's 2 goes at 75% for a knockdown. I think I would have taken the both down, but obviously like 55% for each roll to get a knockdown that isn't a turnover for us. Yeah, so if I'd stood that up a turn earlier, if it had stood up a turn earlier, we wouldn't have been rushing. You think it is? I'm trying to be open-minded in all my thoughts about these things, Jimmy. But clearly you think it's a no-brainer. And the next one, again, I don't know if I should split the reroll or not. So let's skip to that. This one was this was a really interesting turn because I actually have like several different ways I can try and hit this ball. I can dodge in on the back for a 4+ with this wrestle piece, but that would have been on the guard, so it would have been uphill. So actually, yeah, I said that, and actually, no, that wouldn't have been the right way. In fact, I think I just missed that this was guard because I've been saying several ways in, and now that I look at that guard, I'm totally convinced I did the right way. In my head, when I was looking at it during the game, I guess maybe I had not spotted that guard, because I was thinking you could come around the top and do the war dance leap in on a 3+. But since it's guard, it was going to be uphill whatever I did if I went in that way. So definitely it was right not to come in this way. So that's fine. I do think it was correct to do what I do here and take some positioning moves to give myself at least some sort of line in front of them for if this doesn't work. But the line in front doesn't do loads, to be honest. So I don't know if that's necessary. And then doing the dodge in here is it's like a 5+ instead of doing the leap on a 4+. But it means I save the reroll for the 1 turn was my theory. And then this, I don't know if I should reroll that or not. That's one of those where if it's a skull, you're definitely probably going to reroll it because it's your war dancer and there's no apo. On the push, maybe I shouldn't have. It's really hard though, again, because like the scatters here can win me this drive. Like if this goes this way, then I've got a 3+ to pick up and run off with it. And if I run off with it, then I've won the drive. And even if I don't run off with it, like they've got to roll a bunch of dice to score on their turn 8. Is that better than having the reroll for the 1 turn? I don't know. I feel like I can't maths that out. Like I can't maths out, but like the chance of a good scatter plus the chance all the dice they're going to have to roll to score versus the chance of me getting the 1 turn. Like it's too much. It's too much to make like a good decision on. Like I don't know. I really don't know if that's the right decision or not. Like I flat don't. You think it's an easy decision? You wouldn't want the reroll for the 1 turn? Because that's the last reroll is the thing. It's an easier decision if I haven't made a bad decision earlier to spend the reroll on the first sack attempt. Because then I know I'd have that reroll for the 1 turn. But no rerolls for the 1 turn. Definitely makes it feel a bit more. Thank you. Thanks for the resub. Freezing Star. The other thing, which is one of those like things which is really easy to say with hindsight, was the blitz turn. Because like, I think I literally just win the game, certainly win the drive. Winning the game's too much. You don't know how the game's going to go. If I just tag this. But the thing is, like, if I'm tagging that and then I fail this 2 rushes on the blitz, then I'm just giving up a hit for no reason. But because of how it worked out, because I do make the 2 rushes, if that's tagged, then there's no tackle to hit the ball. And as it turns out, they did need tackle because they 2-diced it and got it down with tackle on the reroll. And actually, like, in the end, I think this blitz doesn't help me at all. And so it's just like, it's like such a weird conundrum because, like, again, like, yeah, like if I tag that, then it can't hit me. And that's good. But I don't know at the time when I'm tagging it if that's going to get there. Because, yeah, otherwise then you're going to have to blitz it with this one, which is much worse to blitz it with from directional position if you're positioning for the getting the ball safe. And you wouldn't have had tackle, which ends up being what gets it down. So with hindsight, I think I probably should tag that, even not knowing if I'll get to the ball, because it's such a big difference. Like, it's such a big difference in the positioning of, like, what happens here if they don't have that player free to hit us with. So I think with hindsight that should tag, but it does give up a free hit if we don't get that. I suppose, though, it's a free hit on a 1 dice because they're probably not bringing anything around to help it. So I think, looking at that again, I think I should tag. I think this blitz, I think it's the player who does the hit on the way through after hitting here should just come and stand on this. I think that pushes off, that comes and stands on this. This one does what it does and covers from this side. Yeah, I think that should tag. Okay, I think that was a mistake. I'm going to call that a mistake. think it's like a huge mistake, but I think it's a mistake. I guess the other interesting bit for me is the end of it. Oh, there was a turn when I switched back and Gav reckoned maybe I didn't need to do a rush and I thought I did. So this turn here, I end up doing a rush on the ball carrier because I've decided I want to score the next turn. And I think if we're coming back this way, it's either one rush this turn or two rushes next turn. So yeah, I need to rush because otherwise I can't get past this line. Like, because that's the no rush line. And I don't think I can get, like I can stand here. I think Gav was saying I didn't need to go the square up, but it wasn't the square up I was rushing for, it was the square sideways. I don't think it can be right to stay here. Like, I know that hasn't got tackle, but I just don't think it can be right to stay there and let it hit you. So I think the rush here, if we're going with my logic, which is that I want to score next turn and I don't want to do two rushes next turn, I think this is correct. It's a risk. It's a dice roll, but I think it's correct. I think staying there definitely seems wrong. So I'm okay with that one. What could we do differently here? I think this was all nice to get the pressure on. Obviously, they got a bit unlucky with that first pickup. That 4+ dodge off there ends up being really consequential because it ends up meaning this war dancer never gets free the next turn and then means that eventually that war dancer gets cast. I think the play of not going for the ball yet on turn 14 is fine. I wonder if I overcommit to blocking here when I could just be just cutting this off and creating more. Like maybe this is not necessary. And this is even more not necessary, giving the assist to hit with the catcher that doesn't get the knockdown. I think maybe that this is just clumping up players I don't need to clump up. Obviously, if we get a pow, it's nice and it's different, but because they end up doing some one dices here. Following there wouldn't make any difference. I think what Willow does here is right. I think she gives up on playing for the win. I don't know if she was ever playing for the win, but like this is like a decision to draw. But I think this is the only way of getting the ball at all safe. So I think that's all correct. Like I think she does the right things here. I think Willow played like a really tight game. Honestly, I didn't see any moments where I felt like, oh, that's a glaring mistake. There was the 2 turns where she gave me the chain pushes, but as I say, those aren't like super obvious plays. But yeah, I wonder if that overblocking here ends up costing me because they get this removal and that second war dancer could end up being really useful on turn 16 if it isn't removed. So I think maybe that was a little mistake from me. One of those mistakes that feels little but actually is quite consequential. I'm okay with my decision to go for the ball here. It's a shame we had to put both rerolls into it. Because this again, like we've got this catcher free. So 2 4+s, we end up having to spend 2 rerolls to get them both. And maybe, like, if I hadn't popped dodge here, I was going to go for the ball 100%. But because I popped dodge, I got spooked. And I didn't. And I wonder if I just still should have. Because in the end, they managed to clear it all too easily. So I wonder if I should have just done the rush and gone for the ball. Or do it on this one. Maybe do it on that one. Makes more sense since you've got it there without popping dodge. I think I should have gone for the ball. I think I'm too cautious like that. I think 4+ is, and I think that's one of those plays you should make to try and win the game. Because there's no real downside because the draw is secure anyway. So I think I should go for that. Because also, like, if we don't get it, but we get there and it scatters, that's also probably good for us, right? Like the scatter's likely to take it away from this little clump of dwarves they've got. I think I would have gone for the pickup here if I was Willow, because if you make the pickup with 4+ with reroll on sure hands, it's almost certainly over, whereas this situation does give us a chance. Like, actually, it's not a terrible chance at all here. Like, if the scatter's better, we could very easily win from here. So I think that was maybe a mistake, even though it worked out pretty well with getting the hit and the stun there. Yeah, that's like the worst scatter. That's literally like the worst scatter. Like, other than them catching it, which is pretty unlikely on a scatter because they're not high agility, that's like the worst place it can end. Because everything else would be in less tackle zones. Oh well. You can't win them all. The main purpose of doing these practice games on the Wood Elves is testing the viability of the Wood Elves, and they came through a game with Dwarves with a draw that was never going to be a loss and could have been a win, so that's a good indication for the Wood Elves. It was definitely a weird one because, like, outcasting the Dwarves in the first half, that just isn't likely. Like, whichever way you cut it, it's just not likely. But I think that we were able to not put the key positions in danger until right at the end of that first drive. So, like, actually, like, it wasn't likely that we were going to lose a war dancer, for instance, that first drive. It was possible because at the end we did put them in to take the chance, but we didn't, like, massively beat the odds by still having our war dancers, which is the most important thing. I still kind of think what I've thought all along, which is there's going to be a game where you do get high rolled, but the thing that keeps surprising me is it's clearly much less likely than I think it's going to be. Like, having no apothecary, I keep thinking is going to be, like, impossibly awful, and in reality, like, this is now 3 games in the Team England series over Christmas, 3 games in this series, and the banging out hasn't happened. So they're definitely, in my mind, honestly, I think they just are viable. I think I thought they weren't, and I think they are. Doesn't mean they're, like, one of the top rosters in this rule set, because they're not. Like, they definitely aren't, like, up where Amazons are with what they get, but I think they're looking okay. Anyway, that was a very long tail to that game. I wanted to go through those things. Hopefully it's all interesting hashtag content for the YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube and you like the Team England games, even if you don't, to be honest, hit that like and subscribe.